Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use this 1/2 inch aluminum for the frame that will sandwich the stainless steel in. And I just marked this here, and it looks like the bottom is a little narrower than the top by maybe 1/8 of an inch. So I'll go ahead and cut the top and bottom pieces, and then come back here and then cut the side pieces. So, and I'm going to have another piece in the back to sandwich the whole thing together. Okay, I've cut out the frame top and bottom pieces like that. You'll notice that it's flat, but the bumper is kind of angled at the center. So I'm going to mark out the center in these and put a little bend in the center to kind of angle it outwards at the center. Okay, I put a slight bend in each one of these. You can see it's a little bit of an angle, and that looks much better. It'll fit in there like that. Now I'm going to have to also make a backing piece in there for both of these. So I'll mark those and cut those. There's the bottom one. Let's see how the top one compares. Top one's about 1/4 of an inch longer. So I'll go cut those and come back. I've got the back pieces to go in here, or the backing pieces I should say. And they're a little bit smaller, so they'll fit in there. And the only reason I'm putting front and back on here is to stiffen it up. So let me mark the center and bend these the same as I did the front pieces. Okay, I've got both the top and the bottom pieces, front and back, meaning front is the front of the mesh, back is back of the mesh, and they're both bent at the same angle. You can see one is shorter. The one that's shorter will go in between these metal brackets, and the one that's longer will bolt to the metal bracket. I've got them both for top and bottom. And to give you an idea what that will look like with the mesh in place, it'll be something like that. But it'll recess back in and bolt in. The next thing I have to do is cut a little filler piece to go in here. So I can actually just measure that. That goes like about like that. It will be 3.5, just no, 3 9/16. I've got the little side filler pieces. I'll end up going in here like this. Yeah, that'll work good. Okay, then the next thing I have to do is make corner brackets, and they're just going to be L-shaped to go over the top of it to kind of mask these joints. The next thing I want to make is some corner brackets, and I made one already, and this is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and it's 1/2 inch to match the strips that it's going to tie the corners together with. Give you an idea there. And I made this one out of a piece of aluminum banding stock I had. I think it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's 1.5 inches, so one dimension is already what I need. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a piece for another one. I'm going to make 4 of these, of course, one for each corner. After I cut this, the edge is still a little rough from that sawing, so I'm going to go ahead and file it smooth. Okay, the edge is nice and smooth now. I'll go ahead and mark out the L shape with a piece of that strapping. Okay, now I'll go ahead and file this inside edge to smooth it up as well, and then break all the edges. Okay, all the edges are broken, and there's the final piece. So I'll make 2 more of these because I've already made one, and I'll come back. I've finished all 4 corner brackets, so there they are. Now I'll have to start putting the framework together. I'll have to drill some holes and put screws in it to hold everything together. I'm going to mark where I'm going to drill a hole in each corner. I'm going to put like a hole here and a hole here to tie everything together. And I want them spaced uniformly, so I'm going to use this set of calipers here to just give me a mark in each corner. And then I'll center punch them so the drill doesn't wander. Okay, now I've got them marked. I'm going to go ahead and center punch in each one of those spots. Okay, now I'll drill a hole for a screw. I'm going to drill the holes now. I'll go ahead and clean up those holes and then mark out the strips of metal where the holes are going to be. I've laid the framework out like it's going to be when it's put together with each of the corner brackets in place. And I'm going to mark the holes and center punch them. Okay, now I can go ahead and drill the holes in those pieces. Now that I have the holes drilled in the front pieces, there's these 2 back pieces that I need to align the holes to as well, so everything fits. I'll drill the holes in those. Now that I have the holes drilled, I'm going to assemble with some screws and nuts. These are not stainless steel. I don't have them yet. So I'll put it together temporarily with these other screws. I'll come back when I'm finished putting this together. Went ahead and put it together with the test fit. There's the frame. I will end up putting some other screws periodically through here to hold the mesh in there. So I think the next thing to do is go ahead and sandwich the mesh in and mark it and cut it to size, and then I can drill the other holes.